Here's an ATC 110. It's a 1981, and as you can see, it's pretty much all torn down now, engine frame and everything. This series of videos shows the reassembly, and what I plan to do is try to show every single part, nut, bolt, washer, everything. At least that's what the plan is. I may miss a few. We're going to start with the engine and the frame and then everything else. I'll be skipping some of the actual assembly so the video won't be too long, but I will still try to show every part and where they go. Let's start with the transmission and the crankshaft. The transmission and the crankshaft will go into the left and right cases, crankcases. Now we're going to assemble the transmission. You'll notice there's two shafts. There's a shorter one and a longer one. Okay, the shorter one is the main transmission shaft, and it has two ends that are splined. One has a larger diameter, and the one with the larger diameter goes into the clutch driven gear. That's this gear here. Okay, we'll put that on later. But that gear is on the right hand side of the transmission, so it'll go this way. And you notice there's two gears on here. One is permanently on this shaft, and one could be removed. There's a snap ring. Let's see if I can get it on the camera. There's a snap ring here. There's a snap ring behind it. There's a washer, and you could take this gear off if you wanted to. Okay, here's first gear, and here's second gear. Okay, the other shaft is called a counter shaft, and it also has splines on both ends. The longer shaft will go on the right hand side of the engine. No, it goes on the left hand side of the engine. This one goes into the high-low transmission, the subtransmission, and that'll go on towards the end of the assembly of the bottom end of the engine. And it also has one gear on here permanently and another one on with a snap ring. There's a snap ring and a washer here too. Okay, I'm just going through this to just to show you all the parts, but you could figure it out by fumbling through it. They're only going to fit one way, so you can't really make a mistake. Okay, now there's four more gears that we have to put on. Two of them have round holes in the middle, and the other two have splined holes. Okay, and if we're working on the main shaft, we're going to use the smaller of the two gears. Okay, and it's going to go on this side, and it'll go on so that it snaps in just like that. And then next we're going to use the smaller of the two gears with a hole in it, and it'll go on here, and you can check to make sure it snaps in too. Alright, that takes care of the main shaft. Now the counter shaft, the gears will go on the other side, and we use the splined one first. And so these little bumps on here will go in the holes here, slide over the spline, and it goes right in. Oh, I was wrong. Goes the other way. So if you make a mistake, you can tell. I did that on purpose. And then this one here will go on like this. And there's also a washer. Flat washer goes on this. Okay, that takes care of the two shafts. Then we have a shift drum. Okay, the one with the threaded part, and this copper part here is a neutral indicator for neutral light, but the 110s don't have it. So these transmissions can also be used in the 125s. This will be going on the left-hand side. Okay, on this shift drum we will install these two shift forks, and they look identical. Except the only difference is, well, this one has a broken ear on it, but the diameter in here is smaller than the diameter in the other one. This is marked L and R. They're upside down right now, but it's for left and right. Okay, so they'll go like this, and they'll go on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the shift drum. So we'll put them on, and then there's a retaining pin, our guide pin, and it's going to go when you get the shift fork on the drum. It'll go on here in this little hole here, and it'll ride in these grooves on the shift drum. There's also a retaining pin, and they will go through from the flat side to hold the guide pins on. Okay, I'm going to put them on now. Okay, the shift forks are on the drum now, and with the spring going through from the inside to the outside. And the left side, we'll put this piece on in the washer, but that'll go on afterwards on the outside. That's what holds the drum on. And also this end here operates the neutral indicator. The next step is going to be to put the transmission into the case. Okay, put the left main case up on some blocks so we can get the transmission shaft through there, and also we'll need it up there for the crankshaft. And we'll put the transmission together all one piece, except we can take this gear off. This gear and this washer can go on separately. So you have to put it in. You have to play with it a little bit. It's a little bit tricky, but it'll all go in there together. Okay, then you can put this gear and washer back on. Crankshaft goes in next, and the tapered side will go in first. That's where the Magneto is. This is the side where the clutch is. And nothing tricky, you just drop it in there, make sure the connecting rod is up to the top. Okay, then we put a gasket on and put the other crankcase side on, the right side on. Okay, the gasket is on, and you'll notice there were two locating dowels, one here and one over here. So if you took them off, if they fell off when you were taking it apart, it would be a good time to put them back on now. We're going to put this on too, this retaining bolt and washer that go on the back of the shift drum. Okay, the gasket's on now, and we're ready to put the right crankcase cover on, right hand side, and we'll slide that down. And we may have to work the transmission a little bit to get it to set. Okay, then we pull it in. There's 9 of these bolts here, or screws actually, and they're all the same size. Okay, the cases are screwed together now, and that completes our assembly. You'll notice that there's a couple brackets here for the crankcase breather. One is here, and one is over here.